Hello to all IEAP-1 students. Welcome to Online PUC Classroom. My name is Volek. Today I am going to explain briefly the quantifier and the question of how many and how much. You may have learned or will soon learn this grammar from your teacher. This explanation is supplementary to your teacher's lesson. Alright everyone, so you may find this grammar from page 54 from our textbook. So today we will be talking about quantifiers. But do you know what quantifier is? So quantifier is the word that we use before noun to indicate and to describe the quantity. They are such as some, any, a lot, a few, and we will learn later in this lesson. But before that, we were talking about the question form of how many and how much. Let's take a short review of how to use how many and how much. So you can see from the board here, we use how many with countable noun. Remember to use plural countable noun with how many. For example, how many chairs are there in this class? How many chairs are there in this class? So we use how many with plural countable noun. Remember, countable noun is the noun that we can count with the number, like 1, 2, or 3. Again, how do we make them into plural countable noun? So let's take a look at here. There are some nouns that we add s to the word to make them plural. For example, chair. So one chair or a chair. When it's become plural, it's gonna be add s. So one chair, 2, 3 chairs. Another word is marker. So one marker or a marker. So when it's become plural, 2 markers. 2 markers. So we add s to the word marker. Remember that there are some nouns that we call irregular nouns, so it has to change the word in order to become plural. For example, person. So one person or a person. When it's become plural, people. 2, 3, or 4 people. Another word, a child. A child. So when it's become plural, it could be 2, 3 children. Children. So that is all for how many. Remember to use how many with plural countable noun. What about how much? So how much is used with uncountable noun. Remember that uncountable nouns are the nouns that we cannot count with the number. You can find the example here. So what are the uncountable nouns as an example? Water, meal, food. So they are uncountable nouns, as we cannot count this with the number. In this lesson, we're gonna learn some new words like food, traffic, and noise can be the uncountable noun too. Alright, with this uncountable noun, we use it with how much? Alright everyone, so at the moment we learn how to use what noun do we use with how much and how many. Now let's find the forms of how much and how many. First, I want you to look at example. How many chairs are there? How many chairs are there? So, as what we learned earlier, what do we use with how many? We use with plural countable noun. Can you find it? Very good. So plural countable noun is chair. Chairs take the plural form. So we get how many with plural countable noun. And what comes after? Remember to use how many with plural countable noun and the verb be are there. So that is the form of how many. Alright everyone, I hope you get this one. How many chairs are there? How many students are there? Alright, so how do we answer to this question? So I want you to look at the answer here. We got several answers to this question. So you can answer with there are 3. There are 3. So you can answer it with the number. Also, we can use it with the quantifiers. There are a few. There are a few. So a few is the quantifier. It means there are not many, only 2 or 3. Another word or another quantifier, there are a lot. There are a lot. So this a lot here is also the quantifier. So what about how do we answer with the negative form? Look at this side. There are not many. There are not many. Remember to use many in negative form or question form. There are not many. Other quantifier, there are not any. There are not any. Alright everyone, there is one more thing or one more word to make it negative. Like you can use none to make it negative form. There are none. There are none. So there are none here means there are no chairs in the room, or there are no chairs at all. Okay, so with all this quantifier, we use word plural countable now to answer the question how many. I hope you get this one. Now let's go to the other question form. How much? Do you remember what do we use word how much? So we use it with uncountable noun. Let's take a look at example here. How much food is there? How much food is there? So we got the word how much. Food is the uncountable noun. And what do we use here? Remember to use is there with the uncountable noun. So we got how much with uncountable noun and is there. Now we got the question form. Let's go to the answer. Again, whenever we use how much or with uncountable noun, we're going to use is there. So when you answer, there is. There is a little. There is a little. So what is a little here? A little here is the quantifier. But remember to use a little with uncountable noun. There is a lot. There is a lot. So a lot is also the quantifier. So we use it with the uncountable noun. So how do we use it in negative form? There is not much. So we use much with uncountable noun. There is not much. Or you can say, there is not any. Remember to use any in negative or question form. The last one, what is the important thing is that you can use none to make it negative with uncountable noun. So there is none. There is none. So none means there is no food at all. Okay, now let's do the exercise to check how much you understand this grammar. Now let's take a look at the exercise on the board. So complete the conversation, circle the correct answer. So we use the grammar we learned at the moment. So let's take some time to do these exercises. Okay, now let's start from number 1. So we have how many or how much people are or is there in your class? So again, let's take a look at the noun we use here. We have people, so people take the plural form. So we use it with, so the answer is, how many people is or are there? Because we use people as the plural noun, so the answer is are. How many people are there in your class? All right, now let's go to the answer. So there are or is a lot or any, so we use there are. Very good. So there are a lot or any. The answer is a lot. You cannot use any in positive form. So there are a lot. Now let's go to number 2. So we have how many or how much meal is or are there in the fridge. So what is the answer? So we got the noun meal. So meal is the uncountable noun. So we use with how much. So how much meal is or are? Alright, so we use verb to be is. Is there because it is uncountable noun. How much meal is there in the fridge? How much meal is there in the fridge? Very good. Now let's go to the answer. Well, there is or are, a lot or a few. So again, we use there is, because this is the uncount. There is a lot or a few. So the answer is a lot because it is the uncountable noun. We cannot use a few with the uncountable noun. Alright everyone, let's go to the last exercises. So we have how many or how much traffic is or are there in your city. So let's take a look at the noun here. So the noun is traffic. So as what I have told you at the moment or earlier, traffic is the uncountable noun. So we use it with how much. That's good. So how much traffic is or are? The answer is yes. How much traffic is there in your city? How much traffic is there in your city? What about the answer? There is, because we use the same noun. There is a few or a lot. So the answer is a lot. Again, we do not use a few with the uncountable noun. Okay, that is all for today. I hope you have learned something useful from this grammar. You may have more practice from your teacher. Stay safe and enjoy studying on Online PUC Classroom. Thank you.